Hello everyone, my name is James Ryan, and I am here to announce for you guys a new project, Tank Warfare 2. So for those of you who don't know what Tank Warfare is, which will either be most of you, if there are actually other people, new people watching this video, or all of you if it's just Dilshan again. Tank Warfare is a game I made last year for software development, and I had to use Visual Basic to make it. And it was a pretty simple game. It was just you just played as a tank. There were 4 enemies. You shot bullets at them, and you got a score. You only had a limited number of bullets. So yeah. And I think like the way to get the maximum score was to shoot all of them without missing, or something like that, because you only had the exact same amount of bullets as there were ships, I think. But the problem with the game was that it was with Visual Basic, so hang on. Sorry about that interruption. So basically, because it was in Visual Basic, and at the time I didn't know about the object-oriented features of Visual Basic, it was a bit of a hard to code, because for all the enemies, I had 4 enemies and they all had the exact same code. But I couldn't just make an enemy object and make 4 of those enemies. I had to have the code. For each enemy run separately, even though they were all the same. So I basically copied and pasted the code 4 times, but you know, I had to make each variable for each of them 4 times. I had to make each of the code for them execute 4 times, etc., etc. 1 execution for each enemy. That was all essentially running independently of each other. And normally you can just package those types of things into one object and with its own functions and stuff, and you can do that, but this time I had to do it all separately, so that was a bit of a pain. But what was worse was, like, to restart the level, had to go through the level 4 times, and I don't know if this was the right or wrong thing to do, but instead of like figuring out some reset function, I decided it would be easier to just like make a new frame and make a new window and transfer all the variables over. But that meant I had to code like all these levels, and all of these new levels were essentially copied and pastes of the original level with all the code except for minor changes which let it know which level it was on and stuff. And it wasn't pretty, really. The worst part was that it was how laggy it was, the game. Clearly, regular old Windows buttons and stuff, moving sprites aren't like that, is not what Visual Basic is designed for, because it was very laggy. The game was very laggy. If you shot a ship and it died, then if you shot a ship and it died, the lag would improve because there wouldn't be as many ships. So, basically, we made this joke that it's a bug, it's a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature, we said. The more ships you shoot, the less laggy the game is. Which is obviously, like, bull. But, you know, it's funny to make that type of joke. So yeah. So what will Tank Warfare 2? Well, Tank Warfare 1 was 2D and was made in Visual Basic. Tank Warfare 2, I'm going to make it in Unity 3D. And obviously, it's in the name. It's going to be 3-dimensional. It's going to be 3rd person. You're going to play out as a person, hopefully, if I can get it to work, play as a person outside of the tank. I'm not sure how I'm going to get 3rd-person camera controls to work. I don't want to have to watch, like, there's a guy called Itiski Tutorials. You should check him out anyway. Itiski, tutorials. I hope I spelled Atiski right, but it's something like this. You should check him out. He does cool. He used to do a bunch of Unity tutorials. Now he's actually making more advanced tutorials, beginners and beginner tutorials and stuff. But he's selling them. He put funding on Kickstarter and it funded. Unfortunately, for the first set, they were actually pirated. So he's figuring out some way to do it without piracy being an issue. Oh well. But you should check him out. I hope I might have to check him out for third-person camera tutorial. Otherwise, I'll just figure it out on my own. So yeah. So the basic idea is you play as a tank. You are a tank. You can shoot bullets at enemies. So it'll be kind of like a level thing. Enemies will spawn throughout the level. You need to get through the level, I guess. That sounds good to me. I'm just coming up with these ideas kind of on the fly almost. You need to get through the level. Will there be power? We don't need to think about it too much for the moment. We just need to think about it basically. Yeah, that's all we'll have for the moment. We'll think of any side objectives, like maybe destroying all enemies or something later. We don't. Who knows? There might be. You might maybe need to shoot a certain amount of enemies before you can finish the level. Who knows? We'll stick with that for the moment. Those are our basic ideas. I've also got this paint for more ideas in case I need to draw them to describe them to you. Don't think I should need to. I will be. But the most important thing is it will be live streamed, as in the creation will be live streamed. The creation will be live streamed and you can see the live stream and the creation of it at twitch.tv/LeokoJames. Now, if I'm not streaming, then simply go to twitch.tv/LeokoJames/profile, and you can then click on past broadcasts to check out my past broadcasts and watch them like a YouTube video. Of course, it'll be a lot longer than a YouTube video, because what I figured out is all this stuff I'm doing, I can't put it on YouTube because it's too boring. No one will watch it, but as a live stream, it's perfect. I mean, there's probably not going to be many people, or if any at all, watching the live stream, but if you watch it back, you know, it'll be a lot easier to just watch in one go than like if it was a silly long YouTube video. It just makes more sense to have really long things like that, at least pretending that it's a proper live stream, you know, on Twitch. So yeah, but I will post update videos hopefully on YouTube every once in a while, like this one, to let you know. So let's get started making Unity 3D. I'll see you guys on the live stream right after I do a little bit of a test stream. First of all, yeah. So thank you for watching. My name is James Ryan, and I have been your host. Peace out.